With Drake Maye taking over for the New England Patriots as quarterback for this upcoming game against the Houston Texans, I thought there was no better time to talk about three players that are going to shine and most benefit now that Maye is under center for the New England Patriots. What is going on, Pats Nation? It's your boy Colby, also known as Patriots Global, back here with another video. And boy, oh boy, the new era in New England is officially here. But things are going to look so different, guys. Things are going to look so much different than what we have seen from Mac Jones' time here in New England, than what we've even seen so far this season through 5 weeks of Jacoby Brissett, because Drake Maye is a significantly more talented quarterback than the Patriots have had in years and years and years. I mean, the ability, the arm strength, also the ability to create off script and throw on the run. These are things in New England that we have never seen before, but he's also going to have a different playing style than what we've seen even from this season with Jacoby Brissett. And so before we start breaking down what three players I think are going to shine the most now that Maye is taking over, I want to look at the one drive that Drake got so far this season. That was week 3 against the Jets. Final drive for the Patriots offensively before that game ended, just to give a little bit of insight on what his playing styles were. So his first play on 1st and 10, he goes to tight end Austin Hooper. Then they give the ball off to Antonio Gibson. Then Drake Maye scrambles. Then on 4th and 2, they give it to Antonio Gibson. Then on 1st and 10, Drake Maye goes back to Antonio Gibson for a short dump off. They give the ball off to Antonio Gibson for a run play on 2nd and 10. Then on 3rd and 2, Drake Maye goes to Kayshon Boutte. On 1st and 10, then Drake Maye gets sacked. 2nd and 18, they go to JaMycal Hasty up the middle. 3rd and 13, Drake Maye goes all the way to Pop Douglas. That brings up a 4th and 8, which Drake Maye scrambles. Then a 1st and 10, which Drake Maye was looking for Austin Hooper. 2nd and 10, Drake Maye looks for Kayshon Boutte. 3rd and 10, Drake Maye looks for Demario Douglas. 4th and 10, Drake Maye finds Demario Douglas. And then 1st and goal, Drake Maye ends up getting sacked. And that brings us into the first player that I think is going to shine immediately off the bat, and that is going to be Demario Pop Douglas. Now, Demario Douglas, his statistics might not look as good as what he's actually been producing on the field, and that's been a big reason why he's been vocally and expressively upset both on and off the field, because he's getting open, and he's getting open consistently. Jacoby Brissett has not been able to find him, though. Now, Demario Douglas does still lead the Patriots so far this season in receiving yards, but those statistics should be a lot higher if they just had a quarterback that could adequately and efficiently get him the ball. And the big reason that I think Demario Douglas is going to pop off with Drake Maye is because Drake Maye had a very, very similar wide receiver at UNC that he popped off with, and that was Josh Downs. In fact, the reason that this comparison is being made because of things that Drake Maye said himself. Now, during training camp, Drake Maye actually compared Demario Douglas to Josh Downs, saying, and I quote, "Douglas and Downs do a lot of the same things. You can't guard them in a phone booth," says Drake Maye. Twitchy, speed, those are two things you can't work on. So Douglas got both of them, and look forward to seeing what he does. Now, there really wasn't necessarily a lot of overlap between Josh Downs and Drake Maye at UNC. Drake Maye and Josh Downs played a little bit, very slightly, a few games together in 2021, but they did play together during the entire 2022 season. Josh Downs goes to the draft, ends up being drafted, and then Drake Maye plays another season at UNC. But during that full season that Drake and Downs played together for 2022, Josh Downs actually led UNC in receiving yards with 1,029 yards on 94 total receptions. Not only are the playing styles of Douglas and Downs very, very similar, but even their 40 times, the size of these guys, they're so damn similar. I mean, I would just say that Pop Douglas is maybe a tier down from where Downs is. Like, Josh Downs is your Target, Demario Douglas is your Walmart. Now, when it comes to those 40 times, Josh Downs ran a 4.48 while Douglas ran a 4.44. Now, Downs, he is sitting at about 5'9", while Douglas is sitting at 5'8". So when it even comes to that height mismatch, it's not going to be different for Drake Maye to have to adjust to. And it makes a lot of sense why Josh Downs with Drake Maye at UNC in 2022 popped off. UNC wasn't known for having a very good offensive line. Drake Maye had to create magic. He had to get that ball out of his hands pretty quick as soon as he got that snap. And Josh Downs was the guy who was consistently getting open in all three phases of the field. Now, what you also have to remember is that due to his size, Josh Downs primarily played in the slot. That is the same thing for Demario Douglas. Where does Drake Maye like to operate? He likes to operate inside the numbers in the middle of the field, which is exactly where Demario Douglas is going to operate. I really think that this is just going to be a carbon copy from Drake Maye and Josh Downs in 2022 to now here in 2024, it's Drake Maye and Pop Douglas. Now, this is something that could potentially take some time to get going. Let's keep in mind that Pop Douglas this offseason during training camp did miss a lot of time. Now, he was on the field. He got to slightly work on that connection with his quarterbacks, but for the majority of the time, he was in that red non-contact jersey and then had to start working a little bit more with Jacoby Brissett in that first-team offense to get ready for the season. So it might take a little bit of time for that connection to start showing and that chemistry to start building, but I do think that Douglas is going to have a season year here with Maye. Hey guys, real quick, have you ever heard of NFL All Day? It's this really cool way to collect and own official NFL highlights. You get to collect some of the biggest plays in football, and now they've even added some of the top rookies from this year's draft, including our very own Drake Maye. Basically, how this works is you buy packs that contain moments, like a big touchdown or a game-changing interception, and each one of those is unique. They're all tied to a chain block, so it's like owning a piece of NFL history that's completely yours. Basically, how this works is you buy packs that contain moments, like a big touchdown or a game-changing interception, and each one is unique. They're all tied to the blockchain, so it's like owning a piece of NFL history that is completely yours. Plus, with the new rookie class just added, you could pull a moment from one of the league's rising stars straight from the start. And I've played this myself, and immediately what I thought of was back in the day when you played Madden Mobile or even Madden on Xbox, and you used to save up all of your coins to get those pro packs. This is the exact same feeling. What's awesome is that you can hold on to them or you can trade them and sell them with other collectors. Some of the rarer moments, especially those from breakout rookies, are exclusive. So it's about collecting what you love. It's also a fun way to stay connected to the future of the NFL. And there's always new challenges and events where you can earn even more moments. It really feels like being a part of the NFL community. When I played, I was able to get a Mac Jones card from when he absolutely carved up the New York Jets during the 2023 season. I also got a Ramondre Stevenson card from when he torched the New York Jets during the 2023 season, and even got a Kyle Duggar play where he sacked Tua Tagovailoa during a Dolphins and Patriots game during last season. Seriously, now is the perfect time to jump in, grab a pack, see what you pull. You might land a moment from one of the new rookies or even an iconic play from a superstar. It's a fun way to be a part of the game and build your collection. Check out NFL All Day. Now, the next player that I think is going to pop off here with Drake Maye is going to be Hunter Henry. Now, you can even loop in Austin Hooper there because he does get a lot of looks here, but I do think due to Hunter Henry being the starting tight end, he is going to be the guy that gets the primary looks. He's going to be the guy that gets his stats blown up a little bit more. And remember earlier on when we talked about Josh Downs and how he performed with Drake Maye during that 2022 season? Well, in 2022, the starting tight end for UNC was Nesbitt, and he was third. He ranked third in UNC that year in receiving yards with 507. He averaged 14.5 yards on average in 13 games on 35 receptions and also put up another 4 touchdowns. I think that as long as Hunter Henry stays healthy, we could see him easily go off for 600-700 yards. Last year alone, he put up 419 yards with Mac Jones and that rough offense in just 10 games. In 2022, Hunter Henry put up 509 yards with Mac Jones in 14 games, and then in 2021, broke off for 603 yards. My reasonings for this is very, very similar to what we said about Pop Douglas. Where does Drake Maye like to operate? Drake Maye likes to operate in the middle of the field. This is what he said himself. That's where his vision is. That's where his vision is the best. He'll still throw outside of the numbers, but that's where he's going to be most comfortable, is operating up the seam in the middle of the field, which is where your slot receivers and your tight ends are going to operate. We've also seen the Patriots so far utilize Hunter Henry and especially Austin Hooper significantly, way more than I expected them to. I thought they were going to run a lot more 13 personnel with an extra wide receiver on the field. They're running way more 12 personnel than I originally thought. Having two very good veteran tight ends who can be a security blanket for May immediately off the bat, it can be kind of that security blanket where he just gets the ball out quick, I think is going to be super vital for him early on. And I think with Drake Maye in the mix, we're going to see these tight ends get targeted a lot more in the end zone too. And then the last player that I think is going to break out is going to be Jalen Polk. Jalen Polk is getting open way more than people are giving him credit for. He has the second best separation percentage out of all rookie wide receivers taken in the 2024 draft. Again, he's getting open. There are two players offensively that are consistently getting open for New England, but they're not getting the ball. And that's why nobody's talking about them. It's Demario Douglas and it's Jalen Polk. And the reason we're not talking about them, the reason they're not getting the ball is because of, one, the offensive line, but two, of course, Jacoby Brissett. It's the quarterback. By the time Jacoby Brissett's realizing that these guys are open, he has to throw off platform, and he doesn't have the ability to do that. He doesn't have the arm strength to be able to throw off his back foot and reach it to these guys 15, 20 yards down the field. But Drake Maye does. Not just that, but Jalen Polk, he's going to operate all over the offense. They're going to find his mismatches. Right now, they've had to play Jalen Polk a little bit more as the X wide receiver because Tyquan Thornton just hasn't performed. No shock there. Not just that, but Javon Baker, who they wanted to play in the X this year, just hasn't stepped up and hasn't been the guy early on that they were expecting, which has thrusted Jalen Polk to being in a full-time role at X, which realistically you don't want him being in. But with Kendrick Bourne coming back and him getting acclimated more and more each week, he's going to be their starting X wide receiver, which is going to now allow them to put Jalen Polk in these roles that they want them to. He's going to play a lot on the outside, but he's also going to play a lot in the inside because Demario Douglas, well, he's a great receiver. He's not a number one. He's realistically a number three, and he has a lot of injury concerns. He's not a guy that you're going to be putting on the field 100% of the offensive snaps, which means that you're going to be able to play Jalen Polk outside. You're going to be able to put Jalen Polk in the slot. And we know that Maye and Polk, those guys have a really, really good connection. That is something that we got to see limitedly, but in the preseason. Once both of those guys got drafted, they really clung together like a brotherhood. We saw it in rookie minicamp. We saw it during the offseason. They were going to Bruins games, just both of them. They have this brotherhood. They have this connection going on, which is going to translate to itself on the field. And when Jalen Polk is getting open as much as he is, he's getting that separation. Sooner rather than later, he's going to start getting these looks. And really, that is something that we have seen even with Jacoby Brissett, is that Polk is getting better. He's getting acclimated, and they're trying to make him a bigger piece to this offense every single week, whether he's on the outside, whether he's on the inside, whether it's giving him shots in the end zone in contested catch situations. He is showing up, and I think Drake Maye is going to want to give Jalen Polk these opportunities. But guys, this is where I kick it to you. These are my three players that I think are going to pop off and shine the most now that Drake Maye is taking over. Who do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. Remember to leave a big like on this video and, of course, subscribe to the channel for all of your New England Patriots news. I appreciate you guys so much for watching. Tune into our live watch party against the Texans for the start of kickoff here on the YouTube channel. Would love you guys to be in the comment section giving your thoughts on how Drake Maye is performing. But without further ado, guys, I appreciate you for watching, and go Pats.